Welcome to Anderson's Smoke Show. Today is Christmas Eve, and I got that ham, baby. We're gonna go ahead and get things going. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, like the video, write me a comment. As a matter of fact, leave me a comment and tell me what you want to see me smoke next. Now let's take a look at this ham recipe. All right, so for today's smoke, we're gonna go with the applewood pellets. These applewood pair well with lamb, pork, poultry, vegetables, and bacon. I think this is gonna be a great combination. This ham was already smoked with hickory wood, so we're gonna put this mild and sweet flavor and slap it right on that ham. All right, we've got the smoker preheated. We've got it set to the smoke setting. We're hovering at about 150 degrees. We're going to place this spiral ham directly on the rack for about an hour. We'll check back in soon. All right, so the ham has been in the smoker for 1 hour on the smoke setting. We've been hovering about 150 degrees. We're gonna go ahead and pull this out, get it inside so that we can apply some dry rub, get it back in the smoker. Now, while we are in there applying the dry rub, we wanna preheat the smoker to 225 degrees, so I'm gonna go ahead and get that set now. By the time we come out, it should be ready to rock and roll. So for this spiral ham, we're gonna start with a dry rub. And we're gonna put this on and let it smoke for the next 2 hours. We're gonna be using some of Kinder's brown sugar rub, and we're gonna be using some of the bone sucking sauce. I'm gonna go ahead and get some of this on. We will start with the old bone sucking sauce. You've seen this featured in a handful of my videos so far. You know what we're missing here? Some good old duck fat. Just need a little bit of spritz to get this to stick. There we go. Now for some dry rub. And now for some of the Kinder's brown sugar rub. That looks like it's rubbed pretty well. We're gonna go ahead and get this back into the smoker. We've got this ham dry rubbed. We've got the smoker preheated to 225 degrees. We're gonna go ahead and set this in the smoker for the next 2 hours in this foil pan. We'll check in soon. So we are about 2.5 hours into our smoke. We had the 1 hour on the smoke setting where we were at about 150 degrees, had the ham directly on the rack. And we're about an hour and a half into our 225 degrees and then on the pan. We're gonna go ahead and take a look and see what's going on in here. You can definitely see it's starting to char up there nicely. Looking good. We're gonna go ahead and let this go for the next half hour. We'll check back in soon. All right, so the ham has been in here for 3 hours now. We're just completing the 2 hours uncovered at 225 degrees. We're gonna go ahead and get this coated with a few different things. We're gonna do a cup of orange juice, a half a cup of teriyaki sauce, and 1 cup of Dr. Pepper. We're just gonna pour this all over the top of the ham, and then we're gonna cover it with foil for the next few hours. We're gonna crank it up to 275 to finish it up. So let's get in here. Take a look at that ham. Man, does that look good. All right, so we'll start up here. Got my good measuring cup, and we want 1 cup of orange juice. I'm just drizzling it slow, getting it all over. nooks and crannies. All right, now for a half a cup of the teriyaki. And same thing, we just want to drizzle this all over the ham. All right, now for 1 cup of Dr. Pepper. Once that settles, it should be pretty close. I'll give it one more splash for good luck. There we go. 1 cup of Dr. Pepper coming right up. All right, we've got this ham coated with all the juices necessary. Now we want to wrap this up with some foil. We're gonna go ahead and set the smoker to 275 degrees. And we're gonna go ahead and leave it at this for about 2.5 to 3 hours. We're looking for an internal temperature on that ham of 140 degrees. We'll check back in soon. So when you buy these spiral hams, they come with this glaze packet. You know what I think of this? We ain't using that. For this glaze, we're gonna start with a medium saucepan. We're gonna go ahead with a half a cup of orange juice, 1/4 cup of Dr. Pepper, and a 1/4 cup of teriyaki sauce. We have 3/4 cups of honey, and my cameraman just taught me something. We'll see how smart he actually is. If you grease the inside of your bowl or your measuring spoon or cup, whatever you're using, the honey is supposed to just fall right out. Well, Alex, not gonna lie, that worked really well. Wow, I learned something new today. For the most part, it emptied that bowl really well. Good job. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and stir this up just a little bit before we start adding the dry ingredients. All right, let's go ahead and get this on the burner. We want this on medium heat here. All right, that seems to be mixed pretty well. We're gonna go ahead and add our ground cloves, our cinnamon, and our chili powder. You'll be able to see this recipe in the description. I'm gonna go ahead and get that mixed in there. Doesn't look like much, but I promise you it'll be better than that crap I threw across the kitchen. All right, as this is starting to warm up, I'm going to mix in just a little bit of brown sugar at a time. I don't want to get overwhelmed with it. Add that. We'll get that mixed in here pretty good. All right, we'll go ahead and add a little bit more brown sugar here. That's about. go ahead and add a little bit more brown sugar here. Yeah, let's just do the rest. We're gonna go ahead and keep stirring this here. We wanna bring this to a boil. It's gonna take a few minutes. All right, we've got this glaze boiling now. We wanna go ahead and remove this from the heat and just set it off to the side. All right, so we've had this ham in for about 5.5 hours now. 1 hour at the smoke setting, about 150 degrees. 2 hours at 225 degrees in the pan. And then we covered it with the foil and topped it off with those different juices, the orange juice, the Dr. Pepper, the teriyaki, and we wrapped it in foil. And now we're about 2 hours into that. We're gonna go ahead and pull this out now. Move my temperature probe here, put it off to the side for safekeeping. We want to remove this whole pan from the smoker. We want to take the ham out, get all the juices out of the pan. We're going to get the ham back in. We're going to glaze it up. So I'm going to take this out, set this up here. When we glaze this, we're going to want to essentially broil it. So we're gonna go ahead, get this closed. I'm gonna bend over here, set this to 400 degrees. I'm gonna go drain the juices out of this pan, check back in just a minute. All right, so we've had the ham in there with the glaze at 400 degrees for about 5 to 6 minutes now. I just checked and I think it's ready. I'm gonna go ahead and take this out, get it in the house. We'll give it the good old taste test. Now tell me, how good does that ham look? Holy moly. All right, here we go, the official taste test. Oh man. Wow, is that good? Those flavors, the way they mesh together, it is absolutely perfect. I think I'm having another piece. Round two. That's the best Christmas ham I've ever had. That is absolutely perfect. It's gonna be hard to move on from this. Just like always, we'll check back in soon. Thanks again for tuning into Anderson's Smoke Show. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to my channel so that you can keep up with the latest content.